What is up, everyone? So I decided to start a live stream to talk about West Coast Throwdowns because it was such a blast and I had a lot of good times there. I also have several giveaways to get going. Um, Hats, props, everything you can see on the table. Lots of stuff that I got from West Coast Throwdown. I was going to talk a little bit about freestyle because there's a pretty good freestyle event at West Coast Throwdown, and I'm also doing a freestyle event myself. And so, yeah, it was a West Coast Throwdowns was an amazing event. A lot of just really nice people were there. I met a lot of people that follow each other on social media, and if you're in the FPV, you know that the community is really strong. What up, Chris? And so, yeah, I'd highly recommend anybody that's thinking about going to one of these FPV getaways to really try and make time to go. I didn't see a single argument the whole time. Everybody was having fun. There was a couple people that plugged in while other pilots were flying. I'm like, who plugged in? But they didn't freak out because they know that's just kind of part of it, especially when you get that many people together. And what up, wrong way? I started the trip in Sacramento with Scooter FPV, and we started heading up to Shasta. He called a buddy up of his friend. He called a buddy of his, and he told us about an abandoned school that we got to fly, and it was really epic. And while we're at the abandoned school, two other of his social media friends from San Diego came up and joined us at this abandoned school. So then we were continuing on, and then we got to West Coast Throwdown, got our camping spot, and everybody's there just hanging out, having good times, meeting each other, and honestly exchanging swag and stickers and stuff. I made t-shirts, the droning's not a crime, so I was there throwing some of those out and some hats to just share the love, and that's what everybody was there for. We'd wake up in the morning, we would actually leave camp and just go find a random spot to fly, then come back in the evening and watch some racing or go to one of the designated freestyle courses out there. You just watch, you didn't fly wrong way. But, it was just a lot of fun. We just, there's Newbie Drone and Chris. They're going up to Westfield. Let's go see what's going on over there. And Pyro Drone was there. God, there's so many people that were there. It's hard to list them all. D-Rec, if you're following him on Instagram, he helped set all this up, and he did a great job. There's a lot of racing going on, a lot of freestyle, people flying tiny whoops in camp. And when we first got there, people were plugging in while the race was going on in camp. And some people were blasting 600 milliwatts because that's what they were blasting when they were at home. And but it was practice, and again, nobody got pissed off or frustrated. So then the next day, we had a freestyle competition, and we had over 50 people sign up for the freestyle competition. It was great. They had a amateur class and a pro class. Not too many people signed up for amateurs. They actually went for pro, and a lot of people actually shouldn't have been in pro. They should have been in amateur. Some people scared me. What's that? Some people actually scared me during the freestyle competition flying that close to people, and you can kind of tell when pilots are out of control and they're constantly just correcting for mistakes when they're flying and not executing those proper tricks. I did judge the freestyle competition, and I judged it with Sarge from Pirate Drones, and Shane. He won freestyle last year. God, I forgot his handle, but he was a killer pilot. He totally crushed it out there. Real nice people. The freestyle competition went into the night, and unfortunately for the last couple pilots, they had really crappy vision, and due to no light, the sun was down, and it was unfortunate because they probably could have won. Since the ranking was reversed for the finals, the best score went last, and that's pretty standard in events. But again, they had a good time, and they weren't pissed off that he couldn't throw his run. He was like, it was a good experience, and he had a blast. And to watch some of these guys run back to back to back to back to back and watch all these other skills, it's really crazy to see the different types of flow from this guy that's twitchy and does 1,000 spins, and this guy that's flying in the trees and is trying to do knife edge and stuff. And then this other guy that's flying incredibly fast because he's a racer, but still busting out his tricks. Charlie Quadrant, right? Went right by there. Yeah, exactly. People would buzz right by you during freestyle, and there was just a little yellow rope separating the freestyle pilots from the actual spectators. Nothing to block the quad. In fact, Hobby Charlie. Yeah, right, Hobby Charlie. One of the X Class quads actually crashed and tumbled over that line and ended up leaning up against somebody's collapsible chair. And that's how close it was to hurting someone. Luckily, all the momentum had dissipated and it just kind of flopped into the guy's chair. But it was still scary because this is a 4-foot drone. This was X Class, so it was pretty gnarly. Another freestyle pilot, I think it was freestyle, he lost control. He hit the ground or a gate and spun around, and he tried to power out, and he ended up flying straight into an RV or right next to it, but basically into camp. That was next to you too. Bring it to Orange County. I was actually talking to Chris and Kyle from Newbie Drone, and they're trying to make more of a presence. Newbie Drone is with these freestyle events, and they're wanting to try and set up something in SoCal. And I think they should really pursue that because there's a huge FPV community in LA, SoCal, San Diego, Orange County, and just everything down there. So I think an event down there would be great. But moving on with the freestyle, next year, D-Rex said he has the Freestyle World Championships up there in Oregon, and I think it's going to be going on for the West Coast Throwdown. So I'm going to try and get involved with him and see what I can do to help streamline the event process, because that's kind of my background. I did snowboard events, action sports, skateboard, BMX, snowboard for about 20 years, judging, setting up gates, timing equipment. I judged for 20 years action sports and all that other crap. So I'd like to get involved with him to make safety a bigger priority, because even though we trust all these people and our friends, we still got to have some safety involved. There's one guy, a racer, Lennon. I met so many people there. But he was a racer, and he was so darn fast. He went out to the middle of the field and set his chair out in the middle of the field for his freestyle round. And then he did laps around himself, just orbiting himself around 50 miles an hour or something. Like, this guy was booking because he's a racer and he decided to freestyle. And as cool as that was, like, we can't have a soft target in the middle of a freestyle field, even though he's the pilot and he's accepting liability. There's stuff like that we need to iron out if this sport is going to evolve and have grassroots programs as well as professional programs. So I have a picture of the X Class that SFPV stable. Oh, that was SFPV. That guy killed it. His freestyle was great, and he's an incredibly fast racer too. Another pretty cool guy that I got to meet out there. After the freestyle event, one of the DJs there, his name was For the Wicked. You can find him on SoundCloud. And they were bumping music till 1 a.m. Hope you like electronics, because it was a lot of that and dubstep. But it was just the party atmosphere. Everybody's hanging out and drinking, and we're all flying tiny whoops at night because it's too dark. And there's several camps that had tiny whoop courses set up. And our neighbors happened to have one, and I had some gates too. So we were just messing around and drinking every night and flying tiny whoops, and it was great. The amount of stick time I got from my 5-inch to my tiny whoop, it was perfect. I got to fly as much or as little as I wanted, and I got to hang out with good people and talk to them. And the great thing is you see what everybody else is building, and you see how everybody else is flying. And I realized when I got out there, I'm kind of self-conscious about my personal flying. And I'm pretty good watching everybody else fly. I'm not going to toot my own horn too much, but you just kind of see where you compare. And it was great seeing that, like, everybody had noise in their video, and half the people's OSDs were flickering and having VTX and camera problems. And it's just great to see that, because I think all of us struggle with certain things when building drones and flying and making the tune right and all that. And to see all these other pilots come out, just whatever they got, yeah, it's good enough, just send it, fly it. I think it's great, because it helps realize that the community is so smart online. But as individuals, they're all just normal people, and they all have their own little niche that they're good at. Some are good at building, some are good at flying, some are good at frequencies and electronics, and it's just, this broad community. But what you see online is, like always, the best of the best. It's the highlight reel, just like any personal Facebook profile. And it was also apparent with freestyle that I watch a lot of freestyle videos online too on YouTube, and watching all these pilots fly, and 10% of them could put together a solid clean run when asked for it. So, you've got to rip pack after pack after pack before you get that epic video, and it takes a lot of practice. And these guys kind of came into the freestyle cold. Was. They got to come into the freestyle competition cold and then just throw down their run without any stick time prior. I mean, they flew in the morning, but this was 4 hours later. And so, what you see online for freestyle and all these people being so smart and everything, it's still just a highlight reel, and you shouldn't be intimidated by the knowledge of the community, because, like I say, that guy's just really smart in that, and this guy's really smart in this, and together the community is awesome and helpful. And so I highly suggest anybody thinking about going to West Coast Throwdown do so, or any other multi-GP IO. If there's a DRL, something in your area, go out and support the community and talk to people. You'll meet friends and you'll have a good time, and you'll learn some stuff too. And now on to giveaways, because Gem Fam was there and they gave out over 500 sets of props. And of course I grabbed a bunch, and then I looked at them like, well, I'm not going to fly this and this. So let's pay it forward. For starters, Gem Fan, they have these 4-blade props. And I did try them. They said you got to give them a shot, and that's why they're giving out. They're pretty soft. And let's see, these are, what's the pitch on these? 51-45. So 5.1 inches, 45 is the angle. And these are 4 blades. I ran these and they ran really good until I got down to low speeds when I was really zipping around some trees or whatever, and I wasn't going as fast as normal. That's when I had a hard time locking in my elevation. But other than that, the 4-blade props were actually pretty cool. So maybe some of you want to try them. Need some props? All right. Is that open internationally? Yes, it'll be open internationally. God, I hope I don't have to spend $30 to get it to you if you're in Africa or something, man. But I'll try and hook you up for sure. Maybe I'll split the cost or something, because I'm kind of broke too. But I've got a couple of sets of 4 blades. These are 46s. These are 45s. These are also 45s, but they're green and green. I also have some 51-44 3 blades, 51-52 Flash Series, and 51-49. And I purposely gave you a variety of props because a lot of my followers are not 3-4 year veterans. They're people that have just gotten into it and are a couple years into it. So maybe they don't know what pitch and what props they want to use, but now you have a bunch of free props to just try and destroy and see if you like them or not. Aside from that, I got to shout out a couple companies. Gem Fam was awesome. They just drop a garbage bag full of props in the middle of camp. People are like, whew, and just diving into free bags. And I grabbed a couple extra bags knowing that I would do a contest because I got a lot of other shit too. The cap. What, that? You want a hat? One of these? Yeah, I can include that. But first, let's shout out the sponsors. Newbie Drone. Newbie Drone is great with the community. If you follow them on social media, you'll see that they're always throwing things up. They have a lot of giveaways. They're really active and involved online social media. So Newbie Drone, shout out to them. I've got a landing pad, mouse pad, and did I already bring them over? Got them somewhere. I've got some plaid. Here they are. Plaid motors. And I think these are 2100 kV, because golds are 19, and these are just a step above gold, but they're not as strong as unicorn, so they're like 20 or 21. These are awesome. I have these in a Mockingbird drone, and it flies great. Awesome. Brain FPV was there, and I was trying to meet up with Martin, I think, and Jennifer. Anyways, they showed up late, and I didn't get to meet them because the freestyle event ran so late, and then everybody got drunk, and we forgot what we were doing. But Brain FPV, these are metal camping tin cups, and so that's going to get thrown in just because I've got matching dishes for my wife, and this won't fit in the cupboard, so we'll give that away. I also have a goggle strap from Newbie Drone, so if you have fat sharks, we'll throw in a goggle strap. Shout out to Hot Dog. This guy was great. We were out flying in Westfield, and it was right by the river with like a little 30-foot cliff down and then the river. And then on the other side, he saw a trail. So, of course, he's got to shoot the gap. So he goes out there, shoots the gap, and then I think he power loops it or something. And then everybody's like, oh, shit, because if you lose your quad, you're swimming to get it, or you got to drive around an hour. And after that, everybody's like, oh, I got to hit that gap. So 2 other people went for it and lost their quads. One of them tried to ford the river and slipped, messed up his ankle a little bit. He's okay, but the other guy had to drive all the way around to a bridge because it's in the middle of the mountains in Oregon, and it took him an hour to recover his quad. Yeah, they do. That cup. To prison. Why? You got something you want to tell us? I won 2 of those cups in the raffle. Huh? Cool. I think they're awesome. They're not going to match my wife's kitchen set. So. I will throw in a bunch of stickers also. Hot Dog gave a pretty burly battery strap. This thing's really thick and not going to break, but it's not really going to fit any of my drones. So I could just throw it here with all the rest of my crap and sit on it for 2 years just to have it. But I think it's better to just give the stuff away so other people can use it. I'm going to throw in a t-shirt, Drones Are Not a Crime, because I made these, and these were my give-outs for West Coast Throwdown. I had a couple left before I left, and I passed them out. Chris Budd was there from Sacramento. God, I can't remember anybody's name. But anyways, threw a bunch of shirts out. I have one left, and a hat. And so that's going to go in the raffle also. And then other random stickers. I have a button. Let's see. This company was cool. It was Straight Up. Now I'm being a jerk because I can't remember. But they have some cool stickers and some really cool t-shirts. So that's the giveaway I'm going to do for the West Coast giveaway, because if you missed it, at least maybe you can still get some cool shit. And like I said, I grabbed some stuff, and Newbie Drone gave me some stuff just to give out to you guys. Yeah, the pot keeps growing. I'm trying to do giveaways here because that's what people want. Moving on with giveaways, I have received a Rush Tank Mini. And so I'm doing my review right now. I'm filming, and where's my gun? It's in here, right there on top. Don't mind that I don't use all 4 screws on my gun. I'm lazy. It's in there solid enough. But after that, I will have a Rush VTX to give out, so people can try Rush if they haven't yet. I really like them. I think they're great. They're solid. I haven't really had any issues. They don't get too hot. And this Rush Tank Mini is a 20x20 stack, can take battery voltage up to 6S, and has 800 milliwatts VTX power. So in a mini stack, I think that's really cool. They also sent me some cherry pop antennas. And if we check these out, there we go. Cherry pop. So I will be doing a giveaway for the VTX and some cherry pops when the review drops. I hope I can get it done in a week. I came back from West Coast Throwdown with way too much stuff to do and not enough time to do it. So I'm really behind everywhere, but I'm still trying to make stuff. Yeah, I like Rush. I think they're rising up, like you say, kind of as underdogs, and I think they make good products. I'm not too happy with TBS Unifies. I've tried the Unify 32s, the Pros, and you know what? Every time they overheat or they just fail. I've been using AKKs because they're really cheap on Amazon Prime, but they're kind of big and bulky. And so the Rush Tank Mini is baller just because it's so tiny, 800 milliwatts, and you can run it straight from battery. So that's a win-win-win. Lazy Rocket, yo, what up? Talking about giveaways. You probably missed it, but I'm giving away a buttload of GemFan props, and these are 4-blade props. So if you want to try something different, they're brand new and they're redesigned. They do fly really well. What else do I have? Oh, let's talk freestyle competition, because if you guys don't know, I'm doing a freestyle competition right now where I want a 1-minute flight, and I have a lot of prizes to give away, including I've got Get FPV gift cards for $150 for first place, $100 for second, and $50 for third. Aside from that, I have got props, antennas, frames, cameras. These are the Foxeer Nano cameras, and other stuff coming up. So I have not gotten very many entries, and I'm kind of bummed. Maybe my rules were too demanding, having them email me the actual flight footage. And the reason I wanted to do that was because I'm going to take all this footage and put it together and, you know, show off every person's flights with their name and description and everything. So that was my goal, but it's not happening. So I'm probably going to end up extending the competition deadline. And then when I hit 20 competitors, cut it off. And I'm going to start pumping it pretty hard and displaying all the prizes to try to entice people. Because, like I said, first, second, and third win gift cards. You get to buy whatever giveaway you want. But then after that, I'm going to take the other 17 pilots, and the rest of you get raffle prizes too, just for fucking competing. And I don't know if people just don't click my videos and don't see the rules, but I'm giving you shit just for sending me a video. So, and like I say, I have 4 different frames to give away. I have 2 cameras. I've got antennas, bunch of props. I can't even remember. Brain said they'd send me a Radix flight controller, and I was supposed to meet at them with West Coast Throwdown, but we all got dropped. So I'm going to call them and still try and get that. And if you haven't used a Radix, I absolutely love them. They are pricey, but they're really good boards. And it makes tuning incredibly easy if you use the graphical OSD. Later, Chris. Enter the contest. Get in on that. Cool, Lazy Rocket. Like I say, I'm going to extend the deadline because I have less than 10. I have less than 5 entries right now. So, and I'm hoping people are waiting to the last minute to get a really good run together. And I was trying to promote it at West Coast Throwdown also, but again, people are drunk, so, and they probably forgot. So that is that. But I have yet another giveaway coming down. So huge shout out to Stan FPV, because he gave me a set of ducks. Well, he didn't give me a set. I bought a set and I wanted blue. And I was like, hey, can you get this to me in a week? Because I'm chasing motorcycles and I need the ducks because they're afraid of me. So he's like, yeah, no problem. And then he was like, shit, I don't have blue. I'll send you some reds right now. And then when I get blue in, I'll print you some new ones. And I was like, yeah, no, don't worry about it. I don't really care about color. Just blue sounded good. And lo and behold, he sent me the blue ones anyways. So I have red and blue in a full set. And these go on a 5-inch drone and use 4-inch props for it. But it will make anything into a Cinewhoop. These are great. They're pretty strong. Don't drop it from like 50 feet into concrete. They'll break. But if you're doing Cinewhoop and stuff and you don't hit anything, they're awesome. They're heavy. And so they're really going to limit your battery life. But that's a giveaway I'm going to be doing in about, I don't know, 2 weeks or something. I'm kind of doing giveaways as we go because I've been talking to companies and trying to accumulate things to give back. And Stan is a good community member that does this all himself. And I'd like to try and support him and get other people into that if that's what they're looking for. So I'm going to be giving away a set of Cinewhoop props, and this actually comes off. And if you want to see how it goes, let's see, there we go. I got this drone from a friend that was getting out of the hobby. So these ducks just slide right onto the motor, and then they sit underneath the motor like that. So, and then you do that all 4 sides. So, yeah. I know, this community always gives back. And that's what's great about it. They're incredibly supportive, not just West Coast Throwdowns, but a lot of these companies, like meeting Newbie Drone there and talking with them and chatting with them, and like, yeah, I'm doing this contest. Like, I grabbed extra props from Gem Fam just to give away to the people that couldn't make it. And they're like, oh, that's cool. Here's some motors and some stickers and a goggle strap and a fucking mouse pad. Give that shit away too. And it's really cool to see that. And Brain FPV, Gem Fam, Pyro Drone. God, I should have brought up their website so I could like just list them off. Henry was there from Flyby Academy. Miss Creature was there. I think Zoe was there, but I didn't see her. So I don't know if she was there. A lot of other great racers, and yeah, it was great community hookup. So that's about it. That's what I'm working on. There is no FPV news this month because I went to West Coast Throwdown. It's just too much. God, FPV news takes so much time. It takes me the first 2 weeks to gather all the stories, almost like 3 or 4 days to write out some sort of script, and then filming, editing. If you watch it, you know I have all these visual aids popping up. That takes so much time. And I'm debating whether I want to continue doing that into next year. I started that because I needed something to talk about, and I couldn't just buy stuff to do reviews because I don't have that kind of money. And it's fun. I've met a lot of people, but it takes a lot of time, and it takes me away from my job and family and other adulting responsibilities. So let me know what you guys think in the future about FPV news. I still want to do my interviews. That's really fun, talking to the community, reviews, whatever I can get, little adventure videos. I'm trying to put together an adventure video from this event and kind of show off all the locations we got to fly, some of the people, some of the freestyle contests. So yeah, I still want to keep doing all that, but I may take a step back for FPV news because it doesn't seem like people need it. I'm not getting the clicks, and I've been doing it over a year now, and I thought it'd be a good way to highlight what's new because this hobby is going so fast, and it's advancing quick, and it's hard to keep up. And so I was trying to consolidate things to make it easy for people to keep up with. But I think part of the fun of the hobby is discovering those new inventions and new cool things for it. So I don't know. We'll see. I think I'll do a couple more. Let's see. What are we in? September. So I'll have one at the end of this month. October, November. So yeah, I'll probably have 3 or 4 more, and then we shall see. So in the future, look for that. Please tell everybody about the FPV freestyle contest, because if I can get this going good, I want to do a micro series, and I have prizes for that already because I like to be proactive on this stuff. So I've got a 3BR Mini from 3B Hobby, and it's basically motors, frame, and camera, run cam camera. And that was donated by No Caps. Follow him on Instagram, No Caps. Great guy. He was in our camp, and we were partying pretty hard. Yeah, good. I'm glad you like it. I know a lot of people really dig the news, but you know, I mean, you got to keep in mind YouTube's an algorithm, and it's got to produce clicks and numbers, and it's kind of stressful on me, and it gets just as many views as any of my other stuff, and that stuff's easier for me to make. But again, on the freestyle, if I can get this good one going, I want to do a micro freestyle, and I have a brand new Hummingbird for winners of possibly a micro freestyle. If I can get this going, I want this event to happen, and then come November, December, when it's winter and whoop season, do a micro freestyle contest too, because there's a lot of great micro pilots out there, and it can be brushed or brushless. And so, I mean, and that's just the starters that I've been trying to collect for that. So, please do me a favor and share, tag friends whenever you can, just to help spread the word, because I got a lot of shit to give you people. and I'm not the kind of guy that grabs stuff just so I can have it. I don't need another Hummingbird. I have one. So this is gonna go to someone else because they're awesome, and everybody should have a tiny whip that flies FPV. So that's about it for now. We're hitting about 30 minutes, so it's a good live video. Thanks for joining me. Feel free to throw up any questions you have about what I'm doing in the future, my news, West Coast Throwdown, freestyle, any of that stuff. And what was it? Keep ripping packs. I hope hope to meet a lot more of you in the near future at more of these events. So stay active, keep chatting with me. I really enjoy engaging with all of you, and I'll see you real soon.